Yo, what's up guys, it's Ryan, and today I'm going to do a quick video on how to correct like tiny little timing mistakes in Ableton Live. If you're like me, you're not in your ideal recording situation, and that can mean a number of things, but for me, it personally means there's a ton of latency when I'm recording guitars and bass and stuff, and that's mainly because my CPU is wearing out. And I use software emulations for amps because I can't record my amp cabinet, or amp, not cabinet. I can't record my amp right now just because of where I am. So latency is a big deal for me. And that kind of just leads to timing mistakes when I'm recording. So how you can fix tiny little timing mistakes. Right here I've got this guitar recording. I'm going to go ahead and center it just for this video and its purposes. So what you can do is if you double click on the audio file, and it'll open this up right here, and you can see it's just this, but kind of in its own window. It's just the audio file in its own window. And up top, you can see these little gray ticks right here at the transient. And the transient is kind of just the start of the sound. It's like the attack of a sound, sort of. That's the best way I can explain it. And it's got a little gray tick for every transient in this entire audio file right here. So what you can do to fix the little mistakes, like right here, you can see I was off by like a 16th note or something like that. So what you can do to fix stuff like that is if you click on the little tick, or if you double click on the little tick, it turns yellow and it turns into a warp marker, and that lets you move it around like that. But as you saw, it also moves around everything behind it, but it doesn't move around everything behind it if there's a warp marker to kind of like hold the rest of it in place. So now that I have the warp marker behind that, I can move this into place right there, and it doesn't affect anything behind it. But let's go to this one to fix that. If I move it, you can see before and behind it is getting shifted around. So to prevent that, you need to put a warp marker in front of it and behind it somewhere. I usually go to like the next empty spot, like somewhere over here. You can also just double click anywhere and it'll put a warp marker. But the little ticks are the transients. So now that I have that, this will all stay in place, or the other notes will stay in place, and you can just take it and just drag it over, snap it to the grid, and it's fine. So that's basically how you fix it. It's super fast, super easy. It is kind of tedious and time consuming. Like if we come over here, I'm working on a track. If we come over here and look at this, like this is a pretty easy one. I just fixed up a few things, but on this one, the latency was killing me a little bit. And it's also just a super tight section, and everything was off by just a little bit. So I went in to like literally every note and made sure it was at least close. So that's how you do it. Just to make this a little more worth it, here's a preview of this track that's going to get released in a little bit, I guess. And this is what it sounds like when you kind of just go through and manually. I did it for bass too. Like bass is a nightmare because it's so pronounced when it's wrong, because it's the only instrument down in that frequency. But yeah, this is what the sound I'm getting when everything is just super tight, super locked in, because I went in and made it that way. So this is it. So everything kind of just locked in, and I think it sounds pretty good. There is the whole argument of how it's taking out the music, like the musicality of it all, but sometimes you just got to do what you got to do, is how I look at it. So yeah, that's how you do it. Hope you enjoyed, hope you learned something. If you've got any questions about anything, let me know in the comments. I'd be more than happy to try to help you out. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.